Hi there, folks. This is Moss Scheurkogel from Intersection Winery, and I'm here today with a pretty fantastic summer barbecue recipe that you can cook at home and you can pair together with your favorite wine from your favorite winery.
Daddy, what's on your shirt?
My shirt? I'm wearing my Stoneboat shirt today. Well, Stoneboat's good too. Maybe after watching this recipe you can go buy a bottle of wine from Stoneboat. Hi folks, this is Moss Scheurkogel from Intersection Estate Winery, and I'm here with a summer barbecue recipe that you can make at home and pair together with your favorite wine from your favorite winery. Now, because it's been so excruciatingly hot lately, I didn't want to make any food pairings that were going to force you to be inside a sweltering kitchen all afternoon. And when we think about barbecue, the natural thing that comes to mind is burgers. But we're always prescribing meat to go with wine, aren't we? You know, you take a big red wine, you want to put it with steak, prime rib, lamb. There's not a lot of vegetarian options out there. Now, I am not a vegetarian, but my name is Moss, which means that I do happen to have a lentil burger recipe that is so good, absolutely so incredible, that you can pair it together with our 2019 Milepost Merlot, and it really doesn't matter that there's no meat in it. It tastes so phenomenal, the texture is so perfectly matched, and the taste of the wine so carefully complements the milepost that you can give it to any carnivore and, well, they probably still won't forgive you, but you can try, and it is very tasty. This is from the Harrowsmith Cookbook, 1981 classic survivalist live-off-the-land hippie cookbook, and it is a recipe that is actually very simple. Considering that it's a veggie burger, the only vegetable that actually goes into it is onion. And in fact, you can use dried onion flakes, and then you don't need to chop anything. It means the prep is really simple. So what we got here is, of course, we've got our lentils, green lentils. We've got our rice. We've got our herbs. That's going to be fresh thyme and parsley. Sorry, that's rosemary. Basil and parsley down there. And then we have breadcrumbs. My daughter knocked those over with a beach ball right before I started recording. Probably gonna have to remeasure that. We're gonna remeasure that. Now the secret ingredient is this. Wheat germ. Very simple, very straightforward. But wheat germ has a lot of protein to it, which is fantastic when you want to bind it together with tannin in a nice red wine. And it also has a delightful nutty flavor to it. And when paired together with something like Merlot, like the milepost here, you're going to draw out the natural earthiness in that Merlot and really just create a perfect complement to the taste. You can just buy these bags of wheat germ in the baking department of any grocery store, and it provides this excellent kick-up in terms of the flavor and also the texture and also the credibility as a wine pairing. Now, of course, the lovely thing about this recipe is that we're outside. We've got a nice little breeze going on right here. We've got the fresh herbs from the garden, and we get to avoid all the pitfalls of being stuck inside a hot kitchen. Now, the first thing that we're going to need to do is blend together our lentils and our rice. We're going to mix those together. We're going to make a bit of a cuvee. Haha, it's a wine term. And we're going to boil those up in a pot with some water for 45 minutes on a stove in a hot kitchen. This was a mistake. While your rice and your lentils are simmering, it's a good opportunity to escape into your freezer and get out your burger buns. I always make handmade burger buns, but I try to bake them in advance and freeze them so that I don't have to have the oven running when it's so stinking hot. In this case, that means baking them in April. Next, you're going to want to cut up your herbs and your onion. Again, you can use dried alternatives to all of these so that you don't have to do any chopping, which is maybe not such a bad idea. Back outside. The rice and the lentils are cooked. We let them sit for just 10 minutes. There's still some liquid inside them, which is good. If they are too dry, then you can add some stock, something to rehydrate them a little bit. And now we're just going to hit them with a potato masher. Ta-da! And they look exactly the same, like rice and lentils. At this point, we're going to add in our breadcrumbs, our carefully remeasured 1 cup of breadcrumbs. We've got our critical ½ cup of wheat germ. We've got our onions, we've got our herbs, And we've got some spice, which is a little bit of marjoram, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of celery salt. You can use celery seed. I've used celery salt. And then, this is not in the recipe, I'm just going to throw in a couple of glugs of Worcestershire sauce and just a squirt of ketchup, which adds just a little bit of flavor and helps bind it. We're talking just like less than a tablespoon. Now we're going to stir that all together like magic. And now we're going to shape them into patties. Amazing! So I have my barbecue heated up to medium here, and we have one last step before we put the patties on, and that is one final dose of wheat germ. We're going to take the patties here, and we're going to dip them in the wheat germ so that we get kind of a crusting. That's going to really give a nice breaded texture to them when we put them on the grill. It's good. Very nice. We've got our tomato on there. Let's get some fresh greens. Bit of avocado. And a little bit of chipotle sauce there on the bun. That is very nice. That is beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the nuttiness of the wheat germ goes so well with the earthiness of the Merlot. The fruit from the Milepost really brings out the flavor there. All in all, a fantastic combination. There you have it. Lentil burger from the Harrowsmith Cookbook together with 2019 Milepost Merlot.
Moss, did you make anything to go with the burgers?
No, I didn't.